Hi again, guys. Today we are going to talk about how to conjugate irregular verbs in the subjunctive. Okay, we have many irregular verbs in the subjunctive as we have in the indicative. Okay, let's start with what I call the yo-go verbs. Okay, these are verbs that when you conjugate in the first person, in yo, okay, they're usually in the syllable go. Okay, yo digo, yo tengo, yo hago, yo pongo. Okay, when you conjugate these verbs in the subjunctive, they are irregular throughout the whole conjugation of the verb, not only in the yo form, but also tú, él, ella, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas. Okay, and we can see here examples of this situation, like, for example, decir, okay, which in the indicative, when you conjugate it in the yo form, in the first person, singular, you conjugate it like yo digo. Now in the subjunctive, you're going to use the go form in all the persons. Okay, yo diga, tú digas, él diga, hacer. Yo haga, tú hagas, él haga, poner. Yo ponga, tú pongas, él ponga. Okay, let's pick one particular verb so you can see the difference. We have decir in indicativo and decir in the subjunctive. Okay, in the indicative you say yo digo, okay, but you say tú dices, él dice, nosotros decimos, vosotros decís, ellos o ellas o ustedes dicen. Now in the subjunctive, you're gonna use the go form, but instead of course using only go, you're going to add to the stem of the yo form the endings of the subjunctive, like decir en subjuntivo, yo diga, tú digas, él diga, nosotros digamos, vosotros digáis, ellos digan, okay? Diga, digas, digas, digamos, digáis, digan. So you can see here, okay, the difference. Now let's practice another verb like traer. Okay, en indicativo you conjugate traer. Yo traigo. Now how would you conjugate traer in the subjunctive? What's the stem? What's the ending? Now yo traigo is the base form of the verb that you're going to use. So the stem is here, okay, and these are subjunctive endings you're gonna use, excuse me. So yo traiga, tú traigas, él traiga, nosotros traigamos, vosotros traigáis, ellos traigan. Now we have another kind of verbs that conjugated differently. Usually the changes you will see are in the spelling of the verb. Okay, and these are the verbs that end in car, in sar, and in gar. Car como en buscar, sar como en comenzar, and gar como en llegar. Now there are changes in spelling. The C in car becomes QU. The Z or C or zeta, okay, becomes a C, and the G in gar becomes a G and a U. Okay, here we have three very good examples of this kind of changes in spelling when the verb ends in car or in sar or in gar. Okay, buscar, yo busque, tú busques, él busque, nosotros busquemos, etc., etc. Comenzar, okay, the same thing. We have a change from the Z to C, okay? Comenzar, comience, comiences, comience, comencemos, okay? Y llegar, there's also a change in spelling, okay? You're going to add a U, okay? So yo llegué, tú llegues, él llegue, nosotros lleguemos. Okay, another group of verbs that are irregular are the stem changing verbs, and you have studied those before when you learn to conjugate in the indicative. For example, dormir, okay? When you conjugate dormir, the O changes to UE, like yo duermo, tú duermes, él duerme, etc. Pedir, okay, in this verb, the E changes to I. Pedir, yo pido, tú pides, él pide. Pensar, the E changes to IE. Yo pienso, tú piensas, él piensa, okay? This is in the indicative. These are irregular verbs in the indicative that suffer changes in their stem when you conjugate them. Now, in the subjunctive, you're going to keep those same changes. The only thing you're going to change is the ending, okay? Now, there's a difference between the verbs that end in ar and er in the subjunctive and the verbs that end in ir in the subjunctive. Okay, the verbs that end in ar and er in the subjunctive, they suffer the same stem change as in the indicative. Okay, so you can see it here. The only thing that changes is the ending, because the endings are the endings for the subjunctive. So, for example, pensar, we have yo piense, tú pienses, él piense, usted piense. Now, this is very important. Nosotros pensemos, vosotros penséis, ellos o ellas piensen, ustedes piensen. Now, there's no change. There's no change in the nosotros and vosotros persons. There's no change in the stem. Let's look at another verb, devolver. Devolver, to return. Okay. You use the same stem change of the indicative. okay, and you only change the endings, okay, according to the subjunctive. But again, in the nosotros and vosotros persons here, okay, devolvamos, devolvéis, there's no change in the stem. Now, with the ir verbs, it's a little bit different because you're going to use in the nosotros and vosotros persons the change in a stem, but not in the indicative, in the preterite, okay? For example, a verb like sentir, you will conjugate in the indicative. Yo siento, tú sientes, él siente, nosotros sentimos, vosotros sentís, okay? Now, in the subjunctive, you're going to keep some of the changes of in the stem of the indicative, but in the persons nosotros, okay, and vosotros, okay, here, you're going to use the change in a stem of the preterite, okay? Nosotros sintamos, vosotros sintáis. Pedir, yo pida, tú pidas, él pida. But nosotros pidamos, vosotros pidáis. Okay? In dormir, we have the same change. Yo duerma, tú duermas, él duerma. But nosotros durmamos, vosotros durmáis. In the indicative, we will say nosotros dormimos, vosotros dormís. But in the subjunctive, you're going to say nosotros durmamos, vosotros durmáis. And finally, we have the really, really irregular verbs in the subjunctive. And these are dar, estar, ir, saber, y ser. And you have to memorize them, okay? Because they're really very different to the way you conjugate in the indicative. Also, some of them have accents that we didn't use in the indicative. That we don't use in the indicative. Like dar, de, des, no accent. De, demos, no accent. Deis, no accent. Then and then. Estar, esté, estés, esté. In estar, all the conjugation of all the persons need an accent except the nosotros form. Ir is completely different. Vaya, vayas, vayamos. But you do put an accent when you conjugate in the person vosotros, vayáis. Saber, sepa, sepas, sepa. And you only use the accent in the person vosotros. Ser, sea, seas. Okay? And you only use an accent in the person vosotros. So these are very different, and I really, really recommend that you sort of memorize them, familiarize yourself with them, because they are usually tested in the exams. Okay, this is just a really brief review of irregular verbs in the subjunctive. Thank you.